who was 1 year younger than me. So we were young. We were the same age. Yeah. And he probably was doing what he thought he was supposed to do, or what I thought when a man hit you or controlled you, that means he loved you. He probably thought that was a way to control a woman. I don't know if he does it in his new relationships or whatever case may be, but I definitely did go through it. I did get slapped. I did have my nose bust. I did get choked and all types of shit like that. So I didn't realize that was domestic violence until I was older. Because I'm like, oh, he slapped me, bitch, but it wasn't that serious. Like, my friends is like, I mean, not my friends, and as I got older, because I come from Baltimore, shit like that. Not saying that every woman in Baltimore accepts that type of shit. No, right. That. But we come from a rough city and a rough upbringing. So if you do some disrespectful shit and a nigga slap you, it's like, oh, he slapped me, but I was being rude, or I was saying my mouth got crazy. But it's like, as I got older, I realized, hell no, I don't think about to put his hands on me. Like, I don't give a fuck what I say. So it took me maturity and for me to grow up to understand, like, okay, that is a form of domestic violence. That's a form of control. And I'm not going to be like, oh, I was so helpless and I used to get my ass whooped. No, I used to fight back, but at the end of the day, you can't beat no man. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to call myself a victim because I'm not. But I have experienced those things,
Mm-hmm. And so I have a friend in a rough situation in a relationship similar to that, where it's abusive, whether it's verbal, whether it's physical. What would you say, as somebody who's been in that situation, what would you want from a friend in that type of situation? Because I'm going to be honest, I don't know what the hell to do.
Actually, I have a song called Insecure, and it actually talks about this type of situation on Conversations. And it was a song that I wrote about a very close friend of mine. But I'm never the type of girl to be like, oh girl, he ain't shit, leave him. There's certain things that you can take, and there's certain, I tell people, as a woman, your breaking point. You know what you can handle, what you can't handle. What I will say is the fact that if a person feels as though they have to put their hands on you to control you or to get you to do something, that's not it. You get what I'm saying? Like, I've noticed, with myself, I can't tell anyone else how to handle their situation, but what I can say for myself was, even though my situation, actually it started when I was in high school. So I was in a relationship from the age of, it was like my first, and I was in a relationship from the age of 14 up until 22.
Oh, wow. So molding you, right?
And like I said, he was young as well. We were both the same age. Actually, he's 1 year younger than me. And, I kind of feel like not only did I didn't understand what was really going on when I was going through it. You don't look at things. Me personally, I didn't look at things like, oh, I'm in an abusive relationship. I just lived life and went through it. And the more I got older, and I realized, like, okay, this is not what the fuck I want to do anymore. So it's time for me to, to get up out of here.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how much that part of my life would affect my today life. And it took for my husband to show me, like, yo, every time I say something to you, you're very defensive. It's always like I have this guard up now that, like, nigga, who you talking to, or don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like I always have to be on go mode, like, just to show, or I'm always extra hard because I can't allow myself to slip back to that person that allowed that. You know what I'm saying? So, you just got to understand that it's a lot. Even when someone's physically abusing you, it mentally fucks you up.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so I guess that's something that even when I first met my husband and we would get in arguments sometimes, and he would like stand up and I would kind of like jump. And he would stop the argument like, yo, why the fuck are you jumping? Like, I would never ever hurt you. Like, don't do that. Like, me flinching kind of triggered him to make him like, yo, like, like sometimes you're in a heated argument, he might stand up like, yo, and then I'm like, unbeknowingly to myself, I'm not even knowing that I'm doing it, I'm flinching, and he's like, yo, he would stop the whole argument, and this big, him being angry and arguing, he would just turn into like a soft, like don't do that, like, you know what I'm saying? And I didn't even realize I was doing it.
That's crazy. And speaking of some of those things, we watched that in the show on WeTV, What the Flocka, with you all. Why was it so important? Because I'm not going to lie, on that show, I feel like you're portrayed as the aggressor a lot with the different situations.
I've seen that.
So I just wanted to, because I was like, I've watched several reality shows with you, and I think most of the times I've watched them, I've seen character flaws in you and character flaws in Walker, and it's right. But you've been portrayed as, I'm not gonna lie, the crazy mother. You've been portrayed as the crazy wife with a lot of baggage that your husband can't handle. So I guess, talk to me about the portrayal, but also why you felt it was important to show some of these things about your life.
Well, I guess in the beginning of Meet the Flockers, they did show, What the Flocker, they did show, a lot of turmoil, a lot of craziness. Some of it, of course, is like, when you edit, it can make things look way more dramatic or crazy than they actually are. Right. I am an aggressive person. I'm not going to front. I am an aggressive person. I'm not going to act like, oh, no, I'm just a timid girl. Nothing. I'm very aggressive, especially when I'm passionate about something. Right. When it comes to my daughter, I don't play. Me and my daughter have a relationship. We're super like this. My daughter talks to me about a lot of stuff. And a lot of people think that I'm very lenient as a parent. Like my close friends, like my daughter has a nose piercing. She's 14. Like, like she wear colored hair. Most parents don't do that. Like we have a relationship. I'm not strict when it comes to certain things. I'm just strict when it comes to respect, and I'm strict when it comes to being a mother and being present. I think a lot of people they misconstrue parenting with, oh, don't wear that. She can't do like that. She looks too grown. Oh, that hair's too long. Oh, that's not parenting. What that is telling a child not to be. And I'm not trying to tell anybody what to do with their child, but that's just for me. That's just for my household. I don't look at. Of course, I'm not gonna let her walk outside with some damn Daisy Dukes on and a bralette, but I feel like she's a teenager, so I will let her wear a crop top. I will let her wear her colorful hair because for me as an artist, it's a form of expression. When I was 14 and 13 years old, I was wearing all kinds of shit, and then when I got as a grown woman, I'm like, I don't desire to do that anymore because I did that as a child. You get what I'm saying? So, but what I am stern on is. Okay. Me, you're gonna obey my rules in my house, and you're gonna do the things that I ask you to do because there is no reason. I don't care. We come from nothing, and my daughter is. She comes from a way different upbringing than I do. You get what I'm saying? So as a mother, I always try to instill those things into her. Like, listen. These things are privileges. Just because it's an everyday thing for you, and she's not a selfish kid. She gives her last. She done gave away Gucci purses and Chanel purses, child, to friends. And I'm like, girl, you can't give that away. Like she's super sweethearted person, but she's also have to understand that this is not a normal life for everyone. Yeah. So when I say your ass is on punishment, you're on punishment. So if I tell you not to go get your hair done and you come back with a full set of braids, they plotted on you, Tammy. They plotted on you. Yeah, they're going to come out. I'm going to have them out. You look, I didn't pull them out and I cut them out. And you ain't the first parent to do that because I saw people trying to talk shit about that. And I've seen that before. And then, like, as far as, being, with my husband, me and my husband we have our relationship where my dog just walked through the door. We have our relationship where we laugh, we joke, we play, and we're like best friends. We're like brothers and sisters, and we're like which is weird. And we're like husband and wife at the same time. So I can be aggressive, but I know my husband, and he comes from an aggressive mother, so he doesn't. Me being like, oh yeah, baby, like he like, girl, shut up. What the fuck are you talking like that? You get what I'm saying? As soon as I say something like, yeah, nigga, then he's like, oh, you're too aggressive. Like, listen, I'm doing, it just works for us. But I don't care about I really don't care about how the show shows that because at the end of the day, no one's perfect. Baggage. I bring my own money to the table. I employ my own people. I take care of my own family. You get what I'm saying? And I give back a lot. So my husband respects that. And he loves that. So when I do come to him and it comes to music and he's saying, oh, baby, like even with our music and we have a budget for the music, but a lot of people don't know. Yeah, we have a budget for the music and I am an independent artist. But guess what? My EP sold a lot. So a lot of this album was funded from fake.
Because be clear, on YouTube it has millions of views.
Exactly.
Millions of views. Each song.
Yeah, so I'm like, my EP is what funded conversations, and of course my husband's going to be he's going to be the label. He's going to make sure that everything is budgeted out right, and he's going to tell me when I'm doing too much and when I'm not doing too much, but that's normal. That's what it does. Yeah. That's what life is, you know what I'm saying? It's balance. So I really don't care, because they see the real. They see that what I'm doing in my life. My house is out of order. My child is out of order sometimes. My husband is out of order sometimes. Sometimes I'm out of order. But yeah, guess what? We still get it done. You know what I'm saying? We're still able. We still give back. I still go back, and give back to my hometown and to family members and to friends and people who I don't even know. I'm not afraid to show people, like, look, I just feel like when people are on reality TV, they come on with this, oh, we have it all together. Look at my big, huge house. Look at all my nice cars. Look at how perfect my children are. Like, bitch, no.
Not it.
Not on What the Flocka. You're gonna see my shit when it's out of order, and you're gonna see when it's put together.
Well, and I respect that, because I feel like, right now, currently, there's so much going on, and obviously everyone's life feels like it's falling apart just due to all this COVID stuff. Right. It's nice just to see that the people that you look up to are experiencing or going through the same things that you are. Mm-hmm. But now, Tammy, sis, let's get into this real quick. Mm-hmm. Some of your fellow channel people on WeTV, Master P came out, Romeo came out, now Egypt came out, saying the way that WeTV is producing growing up hip hop is not the way that they would like, so they've been dropping out of the show. Mm-hmm. Just the way, again, you saying that you were perceived a certain way or edited a certain way. Have you experienced that, where you've had conversations with producers about the way that something was supposed to look or the way they wanted something to be portrayed? Because, Master P was basically saying, listen, as Black people, we're not going to sit here and feel like y'all are taking our stories or our positivity and turning it into something else. So what's been your experience with WeTV and the way they edit and produce your show?
To be honest, not just with WeTV, VH1 and any other network. Like I tell people, honestly, with these networks, it's the same. They're all the same. It's pretty much I had someone tell me one day, it's just all of who's going to wear lube or not. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's at the end of the day, no one likes to be portrayed for something to someone that they're not. You get what I'm saying? But you also know what you sign up for when you sign up. Now, there has been times I definitely go off. I go the fuck off on producers. I go off on whoever. If you play, especially when it comes to my family, and I understand Master P and Romeo 100%, because I've told producers, and actually the same producer who's in the video with Master P, Jennifer, we're super, and I love Jen. I think she's sweet. But Jen also knows I don't play about my family. So I'm very transparent. I tell them, listen, I don't give a fuck about a dime. When it comes to my family, my husband, my child, my mom, my sisters, my brothers, whoever, don't fucking play with my family, because no amount of money is worth my family's integrity or their our reputation or our image. You get what I'm saying? Now, with that being said, it's like if you're gonna jump in the pool, then you're gonna get wet, though, right? And we all know that we can say, oh, these producers ain't shit, this ain't that, but you know what sells and you know what these people want to see. So with anything, there's gonna be drama. It's just the type of drama that you decide to show or that they decide to highlight. There's always going to be positivity. Like, even when you watch What the Flocka, in the beginning you see all the turmoil, and then in the end, you see the resolutions and you see the goodness, and you see why. Okay, Tammy was very aggressive in the beginning, but oh my God, now I see why. You get what I'm saying? I think it's more so of when you got to be able to take the good with the bad. You have to. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people, I got so much backlash for people like, oh my God, you cut your daughter hair, the way you talk to your husband, it's just fucking crazy, you're disrespectful, you're just horrible. It's cool, I'm gonna eat that, because everyone's entitled to how they feel. I'm a non-conventional, I would say unconventional, conventional parent. I don't know how you would say that. I'm a non-traditional parent, traditional parent, however you want to take it. There is no handbook to this shit. You get what I'm saying? And if you decide to be on TV, then you got to know that some of this shit is going to be aired out. You get what I'm saying? And one thing I will say is your personality can't be edited. They can edit your words. They can edit your, your conversations, but you can't edit someone's spirit, and you can't edit their life, no matter what. Even I don't know you, you don't know me, personally, but I know you say you watched the show, so you even watching the show, I know you probably like, damn, Tammy aggressive, but I know Tammy got a good heart, so I know she ain't going. You get what I'm saying? Even if you don't know me, you can kind of know, like from what I've seen. Somebody must have pissed her off for her to be acting or she got something going on for her to be so damn aggressive. You get what I'm saying? So it's like it comes with the game. I get exactly what Master P and Romeo is talking about, because trust me, I done snapped on producers, cast members, whoever gonna get it. I don't care. I don't care. I mean, I'm not the type of person that likes to be coached doing green screen. Like, you're not gonna tell me, oh, say this. I was like, I'm not saying that shit. Like, I'm gonna say what I feel and what is on my heart to say. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Absolutely. One of the things that you talked about on the show, when you were talking about your album and creating it, one of the things is you was just like, everybody knows me from Waka, but there was a Tammy before Waka. And you from Baltimore. I have the privilege of being on air in Baltimore. I love the city of Baltimore. So for people who don't know, let's formally tell them who Tammy was, or some type of indication. I mean, on the show you talk about it. Your father's incarcerated. Your mother was on drugs. You've been in abusive relationships. So for you to be where you're at, successful, an entrepreneur, giving back to your community, take us back to who Tammy was before we knew who Tammy was.
Before, people knew who Tammy has always been a very down-to-earth girl who loves her family. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've always been a hustler. I've always been like a fashionista. Like, even if you go back to my girls from school, I run into people from third grade and they're like, girl, remember you did the talent show? Or remember you used to dress like a Spice Girl? I was in third grade wearing platforms like this with two ponytails and I promise you can go. I used to go to Harlem Park Elementary, which is on the west side of Baltimore. And if you find anyone who went to school with me, they'll tell you that I've always been just a different, outgoing person. I think a lot of people, like, I see a lot of comments where people are like, oh, even from past situations with my husband, oh, she's stupid. It's just, Waka. She does anything for Waka. She does anything. Any people who know me or any friends who know me know, like, I've never been that girl.
Yeah.
Ever. Trust me, my husband don't even like weak women. He wouldn't even marry me if I was a weak bitch. You get what I'm saying? Like, and that's just real. Everything I do is because I want to. But Tammy is I'm just a round the way girl. Yes, I come. My family's from Norfolk, Virginia.
Okay.
So I was raised in Norfolk up until I was like probably 7 or 8. I was raised in the projects in Norfolk, so I came from the projects. The projects, not the hood, the projects.
The projects.
Yeah, it's like literally brick walls and gates. And my mom was Charles Angel. I'm on okay. My mom was, of course, like I said, she was a smoker. She used to smoke crack, and she was in environments where, as though she was like, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore. Let's move. And we moved to Baltimore, and we lived in a 1-bedroom apartment on Emerson Avenue. That's where we first moved at in West Baltimore. And
now you had it right, Baltimore.
Yeah, exactly. I try to be a little proper up here.
No, don't do it. Come on, sis.
Right. And I used to run around and dancing with listening to 92Q Club mixes.
Hey, come on, 92Q.
You know what I'm saying?
Slim. Come on, sis.
You know what I'm saying? Remember them club mixes with what was her name?
Swift. No.
Yeah.
Swift. Yeah. Come on, Swift.
You get what I'm saying?
That's my boy.
And before him, there was the lady. She died. She passed away.
Swift.
No, it was a woman.
Yeah, Swift. Light skin, Swift.
Oh, yeah, Swift. Yeah.
Swift.
Yeah. girl.
Yes. We taking a real Baltimore right now. Sorry.
Right, yeah, I'm sorry, y'all.
We got to get her Baltimore bag real quick.
Yeah, so doing the dances and coming up with the routines, going to shake and bake, bitch, like having the freak dances at shake and bake, having freak parties in the basement, like that was Tammy. Like that's what we call them in we call them freak parties. That don't mean you're a freak. That means you freak dance.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like we call it freak dancing when you like you grab the boy, you be dancing on, like bitch, hold my hands real quick, and you be holding your homegirl, be holding you up and stuff.
Yeah. all that.
Yeah.
You gotta come back and do it for Baltimore when this is all over. We need to see you in the city. And
I'm always home though. Like I'm literally always there when I can be. Like when I'm not working, I always go home. I get me some crabs. I kick it with my girls. You know what I'm saying? Just be chilling. So people be catching me, and it's funny because it's like now when I go home, people are like, "Oh, hey Tammy, I didn't know you was home," and I'm like, "Oh, hey girl." They don't even be knowing me, like
right.
But so that's just who I am. I'm just a girl who, and a lot of people were like, "Oh, well, she met Walker, and if it wasn't for Walker, yeah, they're right. If it wasn't for my husband, the world wouldn't know me." But my success isn't because of my husband. My success is because of my drive and what I put into myself. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If it wasn't for him giving me the platform to say, yes, let's do love and hip hop, then the world wouldn't know me. But if it wasn't for me building my platform, then the world wouldn't know Tammy. You get what I'm saying? I could just be Waka Flocka's wife.
Yeah.
So yeah, give me my roses while I'm here.
Give me your flowers.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Put some respect on my name.
Period. No.
When you when you tell people that, because they're like, oh, my family isn't cursed, so I don't have any generational curses. There are a lot of things that, us, especially as Black people, you know what I'm saying, and that we deal with in our households. And the first thing, we say is, what goes on in our household stays in our household. I don't feel like that is necessarily true.
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes you have to talk to somebody. I feel like sometimes you have to open up, because if you don't, then you'll suppress it and you'll become a product of
your environment.
Exactly.
Yep.
So for me, the way I'm not a religious person. I grew up in Christian churches, Baptist churches, or whatever the case may be. I'm not a religious person. I definitely believe in God. I know God is real. You hear what I'm saying? And I just don't believe in categorizing myself as anything. I just feel like when it comes to whether you believe in Allah, whether I believe in Yahweh, or whether I call him God, and you call him, whatever you decide to call him. When we go back and forth on why my religion is right and yours is wrong, we get away from the whole fact.
The message.
You get what I'm saying? So I feel like just using that as an example as to people like, oh, I'm a Christian because my mom was Christian, and her mom was a Christian, and her mom was a Christian. But is that the only reason why you're Christian? Do you really understand why you are what you are? Do you really understand why you eat what you eat? Oh, I've been eating pork all my life. My mama ate pork, her mama ate pork, so I'm eating pork. Do you really understand? I think as you get older and you become wiser, it's just like our parents were, our ancestors were enslaved. A lot of our ancestors came here and they were enslaved. Yeah. And the more our mindsets grew, the more knowledgeable we became. We could never be enslaved, but we still have a slave mentality. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? So the reason why we're still enslaved mentally is because you're going off of what you feel is right because someone told you it's right, instead of researching and figure out if that's the right thing to do for yourself. What worked for your mother might not work for you. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? So that's what I feel like carries on generational curses, is us not educating ourselves and teaching us. And Waka, I can't hear. Can you turn it down? Jesus.
Right, you ain't here being insightful. He over there bumping music.
So I feel like, that's what creates and carries on generational curses, is the fact that we don't do what's best for ourselves. I had an argument with my mom the other day, and I was like, sometimes my mom do things that reminds me of things that my grandmother did that I hated, and I love my grandmother to death. My grandmother was an amazing woman, but she had her ways. Yeah. And favoritism was one of her ways. And, and when I see my mom do some of those things, I get angry, and she's like, what is wrong with her? I'm like, because you're starting to act like your mother the older you get, and I don't like that. And one day she came to me, and she was like, you know what? I noticed that, and I'm gonna fix that. Like, I apologize. And especially black folks, it's hard. They stuck in their ways, baby. They don't want to change.
Never.
So I just, try my best to not be that type of person, or try to, like, even with my daughter, like, I'm not gonna be like, oh, you're gonna go to college. You have to go to college because that's the right thing to do. Mm-hmm. No, you have to go to college if that's what you want to do. If you want to create a business and take your money and invest in something, then by all means, baby, do it. If you want to go to college because you want the experience, or you really want to go for, or you want to go to a school for trade, then you do that. Because I feel like a lot of people press their children to go to college, to go to school for something, and they just go and they don't use it, and they don't really want to do that, and you just waste thousands of dollars on nothing.
Right.
And I have friends who went to school for years, and I make way more than them. Yeah. And I got the GD. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So I think a lot of the times we live our life based on what others think and not what is best for us.
I'm gonna tell you now. So I interviewed Waka when I was in college. So, child, it was like 2015. But after talking to you right now, I completely understand. Like, intellectually, I've obviously watched you. Y'all interact on shows, but intellectually, after hearing you speak, I see why y'all are made for each other. Intellectually, y'all match. Because Waka really is
super smart.
Super smart, super down to earth, super intelligent.
It trips me out because Waka says a lot of things. Sometimes he's a Gemini, so there's like 3 of him for sure in real life. Okay. And he speaks how he feels without thinking sometimes. And a lot of people be like, oh, they go so crazy, they go off, and oh, he's just dumb, and he's this, he's that. Right. We have a library downstairs. This man, people don't know, my husband loves to read. He has books on top of books on top of books on top of books. Like, like him and my daughter love to read. Like, this is their thing. And if I were to tell someone, like, another thing about Waka doesn't like to be late. He's extremely prompt. He always likes to go to any meeting 15 minutes early. Like, he gets on my case about not being, prompt. Right. And it's, for some people, that's like for a rapper. Or for
rappers come late all the time.
Yeah, and he's not that type. So I think, like I said, it's all people prejudge you without even knowing you. They or really knowing. It's just like, you can say one thing and they run and they sum you up of one word or one sentence or one time seeing you for 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? So. I'm glad that you were able to speak to me, you know what I'm saying, and get your
no. I just noticed it because I remember, again, preconceived notions. We know Waka Flocka from Oh Let's Do It. Right. Partying and throwing his dreads and that lifestyle. Yeah. So when I came and he sat down and we were just talking, one, he was just really personable. But two, he also was very, very, very intelligent. And that was something that I personally was not expecting because, again, prejudging him.
Right, exactly. Yeah, we all are guilty of that. You know what I'm saying? Right. We're all guilty of, like, and like I said, I've even got, as a woman, I've learned how to try not to be like that. Because I had a lot of people judge me. Like I said, I was in 3rd grade wearing, my hair looks terrible, child. I was in 3rd grade wearing heels. And this one little curl just keep flattening out and going over here.
You look good, sis, okay?
Thank you, babe. But yeah, I was in, 3rd grade wearing, heels, and I used to dress very, very grown. And a lot of my friends, their moms, you didn't want them to hang with me because they're like, oh, she's grown, look how she dressed. And I was still a virgin.
Perspective, right.
Yeah, exactly.
Perspective. So what do you think? Because, your husband does share his opinion a lot, and people, like when he told people, why y'all worried about who going outside, mind your business. If people want to go outside, let them go outside. We got this coronavirus and people got pissed about it. Yeah. As his wife, when he does things like that or says things like that, even when maybe you're not in agreement, how do you feel about it? Because, your whole life is on a projector, right? Like, everybody is always observing. So what are you thinking when you see your husband and he's getting slayed online for something he said?
Oh, I just see somebody say, at first I didn't like Tammy, but now I'm loving her. Why do you like me?
First of all, this is a lemonade stand, sweetie. We come authentic 100% here. So y'all don't be on here if you don't like Tammy. Don't be a hater.
No, you know, and it's okay. She can have her opinion, but I see a lot of people say that a lot. Like, I didn't like her, but I'm like, why? Like, what did I do to make you not like me?
Well, like I said, Tammy, that show really did. Watching it, and I've watched you on other shows too, but this show in particular, even on Marriage Boot Camp, I felt like Waka came with his stuff and you came with your stuff, and it was an equal layer of dysfunction. I feel like this show kind of showed you in a way that made me feel like, damn, Tammy. So maybe people have watched this last show and it's given them a bad taste in their mouth. But I will say that, like, again, watching you on other shows, watching your dynamic, and if anybody knows your history, then they also.
But did you watch it all the way to the end?
Right, and that's the other conversation.
Yeah, because like the first 2 episodes, it shows the dysfunction. But if you watch, like, if a lot of people follow the actual to the end of the show, then you will get a feel of
who you are.
Yeah, you get what I'm saying, which is okay and fine. But get back to your first question though. Like, when Walker said stuff, I don't. Sometimes I go back and explain what he was trying to say, and then other times, like, so we're a married couple in real life, so we don't agree all the time. Like, sometimes I'm like, yo, why the fuck would you say that? And then he was like, because I wanted to, and I'm like, okay, but you know what I'm saying? Like, and there's times where I'll be like, I understand, like, and if they don't understand, then sometimes I try to break it down in a different way for people to understand, you know, his mindset, his thinking. And I think even when he said why people worried about people going outside for Corona, I think it was more so in the sense of, like, if somebody want to go outside and they want to do what they want to do and they want to get sick, what the fuck can you do about it? Well, how the fuck can you stress yourself out?
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Only thing you can do is worry about you and yours and your household. Yeah, you can use your voice and speak up and you can say, hey, protect yourself and do this, but apparently people outside throwing full-grown motherfucking parties.
I was going to say, let them go out there and be the test dummy and then tell me what happened when you go out, because I'm staying in my house, okay?
You get what I'm saying? Like, and another thing here is, like, in Atlanta, things are open up. Everyone is outside. Yeah. We're not, like, out like how we used to be, but the people are out. They're at Santa Club. They're out. Like, our stores are open. We're able to be outside. We don't have to go inside. You know what I'm saying? So everywhere is I guess, you know, it's a bad taste in my mouth because every city has their own.
It's different, right?
Yeah, which is kind of weird.
Yeah, right. We're not on one accord, and neither is our president, child. So
which is fucking crazy.
Girl, he's over here taking malaria medicine, but he needs to go ahead and insert that disinfectant like he was talking about earlier. Just see what happens. I'm just saying. Another thing I wanted to talk to you about as well is you are harshly judged for deciding to stay in your marriage.
Which is so crazy.
Right. So I wanted you to talk about that because I think that what adds another layer to it is a lot of women get cheated on. A lot of women don't get cheated on publicly.
Right.
And so that adds another layer because you're embarrassed already, right? So there's distrust, you're embarrassed, but then on top of that, then the public has an opinion. So you can't even really deal with what's going on in your marriage.
Right.
Right. So talk about, like, I guess the struggle of that, but also why you decided to fight for your marriage when it was easy. It would have been easier, to be honest, to just throw the marriage away, right? Especially with the public peanut gallery sounding off.
Right. Well, my husband fought for it first. So he showed me when we went through all of this turmoil throughout our relationship and the stuff that you guys see on TV was only, you know, it's crazy because a lot of people be like, oh, he cheated. And, you know, that's a deal breaker. Absolutely, you know, people go through what they go through. And why is all of this stuff is on my face? Whatever. And people go through what they go through or whatever the case may be. That wasn't the hardest part for me, though. We've gone through things spiritually that people could never even imagine. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When we separated, and I was at a point like, I'm done. There's nothing else I can do with this. I love this man to death, and I will pray for him, or whatever the case may be. But I just cannot be here for myself. And he got himself together, and he fought hard for his family, and he changed. And if a person is changing and they're fighting, why? And you love them, why give up on what you guys have built? That's how I look at things. Now, people might look at things completely different, and they might say, hey, it is easier to walk away, or, why stick around with someone who's cheated and did this and did that, and the case may be, whatever. You only know what we show and what's out there. There's no excuse for cheating. There's no excuse for fucking betrayal, infidelity. There is no excuse for any of those things. But there are things that people go through that allows them to do things that hurt other people. Hurt people hurt people.
Come on.
Hurt people. And they don't do it intentionally. You get what I'm saying? Now, as a person, you have to be able to figure out whether or not... Are you okay?
Hurt people.
Yeah.
You hurt me a lot. So.
Well, you just took a shit, so what?
I'm dead.
You just took a shit.
Like, he will come back and just... Okay, you just got off the toilet. He is mad to say...
Put him on blast. Put him on blast.
But seriously, hurt people. So my husband was going through a lot in his life. And like I said, I'm not making no excuses for him at all. Because if I was, I wouldn't have left his ass.
Right.
But without going into it and putting his business out there, that's his story. That's his testimony. That's not mine to tell. You feel what I'm saying? I was a part of a situation. Even if me and him weren't together to now, even if me and him wasn't together right now, I would still be a part of his life. Because God put us together for a reason. And it wasn't about me. And it wasn't about, like I said, it's such a spiritual battle that a lot of people wouldn't even be able to understand it on the level of which I would explain it.
Yeah.
Are you following me? Like I'm trying.
What's understood don't gotta be explained, Tammy. Come on.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But I did get a lot of turmoil for taking my husband back. A lot of people. I mean, I guess it'd have been easier to jump to the next rapper. I guess people would be more happy to see me with another basketball player or another rapper. Well, you get what I'm saying? I guess that's what they wanted, but that ain't how I'm built. That's not how I'm bred. That's not who I am. If I love that man to death, and I know for a fact there's nothing he wouldn't do for me or my daughter. Yes, he has made his mistakes, and he has been working ever since to correct those mistakes. And I'm not going to keep on bashing him and putting him down. I'm still going to hold him, to the highest standards ever. Yeah, I'm not perfect. I got my things and my situations as well. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Shit.
And it's
their grandmama stayed with their grandfather. Bitch, if she didn't, you wouldn't be here. Your mama wouldn't be here.
Talk about it, Tammy. Let them know. Okay, so this is a question that I do have based off of your own marriage and your experience.